Thank you. Uh, Good morning, everybody. Uh, Today is the last day What Camp. I had a tremendous, great last 2 days, contributor day and the first What Camp day. But then today is the last day. I have a kind of a sad feeling as we all will be going back home to our respective destinations. But then I, after the pandemic, we come across together, and it's a great feeling. It's a happy feeling seeing all looking at the happy faces. This is indeed a great feeling. So I'll go straight away to my presentation, which says this is a very interesting topic I was coming across while I was studying a lot of stuff during pandemic. And in the last 2 years, coming across a lot of people, a lot of professionals, their experience, their journey during the pandemic, after the pandemic as well, when it was unlocked. So I thought I will speak to a topic which is like how the psychological imbalance has affected the writing style or motivated the writing style of the content writers when we are finished off 2022 and entering into 2023 and onwards. So, having said that, let's set up the tone for the next 30 minutes or so when I roll out with my presentation. So, here we go. So, there is a tremendous change of consumer behavior when the pandemic just finished off. So, what we have come across, this is loneliness, anxiety, sadness, and then the damaged trust factor. Now, what is damaged trust factor? A lot of we have come across so many threats, so many disruptions that we have lost our faith. We have lost confidence in ourselves. So then, hybrid mode of work. So this is another paradox. Like, you have both the experiences. You were working from home during the pandemic, and then we are switching over to a hybrid mode of work once the pandemic was over. Companies asking you to work 3 days from home and 2 days from the office. So that's a peculiar situation. You don't know how to combat it, how to face it. Now, there are a lot of tensions within. Like, there are a lot of companies which came up with contractual systems right from as soon as the pandemic was over. So you have a challenge. Like, you don't know how to face it, how to react to it, and you can't leave the situation as well. You are stepped into it. So now the people are looking for simultaneously, as the main occupation has gone under contractual, they're looking for extra income. So once that is looking for extra income, or maybe when they're free from the main job, using their some pastime, they are once again under pressure. They get a little time to interact to their family members. That's another challenge. That gives you a threat, actually. And your identity, it becomes a challenge. It becomes under crisis. So you lose your own identity, you are stepped into the work only. So what happened? Like, rules got relaxed. Once the pandemic is over, in most of the countries, the rules got relaxed. There is no mandatory thing of putting off masks on your face. The travel is unrestricted. I mean, it is kind of open. Now, social functions, gathering are completely open. And the hygiene requirements at the back of the mind when everybody is saying how big is the question for hygiene to maintain your hygiene activities. It's people tend to forget things when they are on the move. So that's another challenge. So how hygienic we are when we are on the move. So, and if you come across like the the behaviors are still swinging. It is not static. It has not got a static platform that you will understand the situation and will behave accordingly. The kind of imbalance. So the cause behind is this remote and hybrid mode of work, the mixed work-life balance, more day-to-day digital functioning, and no time for relaxation, as I've already told. Now, with the unlock, people start working on hybrid mode, and there are some challenges, once again. So they're struggling with office space at home. So you have an office space, you created that during the pandemic, and now you are working on the hybrid mode. You don't know how to react, right? Like you can't, improvise your office space, your home office space compared to your actual office space in the office. So it's once again, it's a challenge to just to keep a bridge between these two. Next is your inter-office communication. You work at the home in a different mode. You work in an office from another different way. But then you don't know how to communicate or make a bridge between these two. So communication becomes different. And when you work from home, you have certain engagements and you have certain things to do. The people at home expect you to do some works at home normally, naturally, even if you are working from home. So that gives you a challenge, that gives you a threat. So now, that's the way you cannot maintain your professional and personal lives. And your mental health gets affected by it. So now, as a content writer, as a blog writer, when you are writing under the circumstances, what is happening? Your blog and content writing is highlighted, or it gets a niche audience when you come across a lot of audience. You try and interact with a lot of human interactions. So human interactions give you a lot of flair and a lot of meat in your writing. A lot of content in your writing. But we are now at home. You are working on a hybrid mode. You are less interactive as far as your connectivity is concerned. So what do you have to do? So while writing, you should look for empathy, highlight on empathy. You have to be very, very compassionate for the people for whom you were writing. You write genuine, insightful, and useful content. Don't write trash. Don't write, fluff. You try to write insightful, less content, which can make a difference in their social activities or professional activities. You don't become tone deaf. You try to stick to a tone which will be familiar to your audience in these period of time. and double check your content before it gets uploaded, it gets live. And then converse in social media, it's the way, because now, still now, you are not very open to interact to the people. I'm not talking about WhatCamps Asia, because it is a fun fair, it's a wonderland. We are interacting with everybody, but very few people across the world get a chance to come across a fun fair like this. We are fortunate. So for them, the social media is the only way, only platform where you can stay connected, you can stay conversed, and you can be happy. So share strategies and daily tips to stay safe and how to motivate yourselves. So these can work magical. Then share customized resources of writing. I'm talking especially for the writers, right? Content. So just try to share a lot of resource links, a lot of blog posts, blog links that you can share that can always change the lives. That can always change and motivate them, motivate your readers. And content, just remember, as Vishal was telling in my introduction, like I was speaking to Oxford in 2019, where I had submitted my research paper, where I told that content is no more the king, content distribution is. That is the actual king. You can write content, but if you doesn't have a real meat in it, a real essence in it, it cannot reach to your audience. Be very, very careful. You can read number of pages of content, but it will not hit to the audience unless and until it has a mission, it has a thought, it has a genuine, insightful ideas. So another circumstances, a lot of people are under threats, still under threats, a lot of anxiety is going on, a lot of psychological disadvantages. So don't take chances or don't take advantage of the situation. Remember, whatever you are writing, whatever you're speaking to your fellow person, to your friend, it can act as a healing process. And this can actually help motivate the society as well, as a whole. So communicate with valid information. If you are not sure about your information that you are sharing, don't go for it. And valid information, if it is a valid information that you want to share, always do a fact checking. And unless and until you are sure that it has a feeling, it has an emotion attached to it, it has a real facts and figures, do not go for sharing. Try to uplift the morale of the people for whom you were writing. Like, share brilliant success stories of the leaders from different communities. That will help motivate people in a long way. And provide accurate, empathetic information. The communication should be direct, transparent, and in a very timely manner. Don't write something which is of maybe a couple of months back incident, or maybe something irrelevant in today's talk. For those who are working in different companies, emails is a must. But apart from that, if you are writing something in social media, if you are trying to communicate, chatting someone in social media, going live, doing a webinar, doing an online seminar, Be very, very, uh, you know, categorical in whatever you are communicating. Remember, lackluster communication can give you a hit because once you are identified in this socially connected world that your talks, whatever you are saying, that it's coming from you, not as a from your own belief, but you are a little shaky as far your belief is concerned, you are nowhere. Nobody will trust you. So this trust factor is very, very important, and be very, very straightforward, be very, very empathetic in your approach. And customers will always value your effective business content, which is unique and penetrating. Be very, very categorical about uniqueness of your content. Do not go by the law. Do not go by what other people are thinking. Do not go by the world. Whatever you are coming across, don't take it as a Bible, right? So be of your own and try to inculcate something. Try to come up with a content which can really help people, motivate people in a bigger way, and change the direction. So, words of encouragement, strategies, cope with the current reality and resources. And that's the need of the hour. And inject rays of hope. That's what I'm constantly telling you guys. Because this is a time that we are kind of an imbalanced situation psychologically. And we need a lot of people to motivate ourselves. We need a lot of handholding. We need a lot of collaborations. After the pandemic, I've come across a lot of big guys from big corporates who look for collaborations in thousand different ways. So whenever you write something, whenever you want to communicate, prioritize the informational needs. Your clients first, remember, your customers, your audience, your people with whom you are dealing with, with whom you are working with, they come first. So always share helpful content which evoke emotion under the circumstances, because we are in a very typical and very awkward situation even today in the mid February of 2023. Try to share a lot of videos, podcasts, and success stories, employees' anecdotes. You can do in different ways, but come across with a lot of positive notes. That's very important. Highlight the need for change. Don't stick to a very traditional way of thinking. Just try to break the barrier, but in a way which is sympathetic, compassionate to your fellow readers, your fellow compatriots. And just make them learn, make them understand that they need to be willing to adapt things as fast as possible. So it's a dramatic changing scenario that can create unique opportunities of business. So if you can adapt first, if you can make yourself available for the need of the hour, then you get a success very quickly. Now, and try to develop tailor-made content, customized content, whenever and whatever way your client looks for, because it's a changing world. There are a lot more things coming up. I in my company, I run an IT company in Calcutta, India, and there I handle around 42 global clients for content. So I have seen a radical change of requirement after the pandemic. And for example, one of the clients who has been working since last 5 years with me suddenly come across and asked for some content, which is an animated movie, and they want me to write, or my team to write, the basic background of the entire movie, so that that content, whatever we will write, that content will come as a voiceover. So people who have no time to go through the entire movie can hear the voiceover, looking at the gist of the movie, which will come in a clip, like maybe for 15 minutes clip or 12 minutes clip, and he will have an understanding of the horror animation, and the voiceover will create and give them an understanding of the entire movie. So this kind of content is required. It's of around 1,200, 1,500 content, 1,500 word content, and these content is the need of the hour probably. So they need huge bulk range of content on these areas, which was never ever there pre-pandemic. So, and don't play with the fears. That is always the temptation. So that's all. Thank you so much.